welcome back. We have today with us Mr. Francisco Rivera. He's the county extension agent from Hillsborough County, and our special guest for today, and hopefully in the future, we're going to have many more videos with him, Dr. Joao Vitar. He's our state extension beef veterinarian. He's brand spanking new. He's been with us for about a year now, maybe less, and we're just glad to have him with us. And today we're going to be talking about environmental stress that can affect our beef cattle herds. Due to the pandemic, we have special circumstances that we want to discuss with you. But anyway, how are you this morning, Dr. Vitar?
Hello, good morning, Jonael and Francisco. It's a pleasure to be here. And as Jonael said, so I'm representing the College of Veterinary Medicine from the University of Florida. So I'm happy and glad to be here, and hopefully this will be one of the many videos recorded, in English, in Spanish, and maybe in Portuguese.
We're working on that.
I'm going to give a dictionary for Francisco and Jonael.
Send it to me. I will be happy to have more work in my schedule.
But anyway, so appreciate, and I'm glad to be here to help to transfer the knowledge to the producer, especially in this challenging time.
Okay, so let's start from the beginning. Stress. What is stress, and how does stress affect our beef cattle herd, Dr. Vitar?
So as you all know, Florida weather is high humidity and high temperature. So in that puts even more weight on the environmental stress, the heat stress. So usually, basically, cattle under the heat stress will eat less, lose more electrolytes, and the body of those cattle will spend more energy trying to dissipate the heat, try to cool down, than to use that energy to gain weight or produce milk in a cow or to reproduce. So in general, animals under heat stress will have a lower performance, reproductive, going to gain less weight, and then it may be more susceptible for the diseases, because when the disease comes, the immune system needs to replicate quickly and in a high number, and then might not have the energy needed to do that.
Okay, so let's put this in context. We're dealing now with an active, more active than usual hurricane season. We're dealing with a restriction in the amount of animals that are being sold at the sale barns and other marketing outlets. So now we're expecting to have more animals per acre unit in our herds. And what stressors are we going to be dealing with during this summer and probably fall?
Yeah, that's important. And as you all know, Florida is beef cattle industry is basic cow-calf producers. So most of the calves are produced here, and with exception of the replacement heifers that will be backgrounded here, all other calves go away to Florida. So they are weaned and go out west for the backgrounders or feedlot. So with the limit movement of cattle, special calves, the producer now, you have to retain those calves and background them in their ranch. So adding to the high temperature, high humidity that you already have in the hurricane season that we all know, we're going to have a higher stock density of cattle in the farm. So there is a higher risk of diseases in this case, and you need to pay more attention to the nutrition and to the water source. So that's very important to work with your veterinarians, nutritionists, and agronomists to have a better strategy for the forage production and use and supplementation of those cattle, and especially minerals as well.
Dr. Vitar, what common disease or parasite can the producer have in their farm on this upcoming season?
Yes, Francisco. Now it's important to remind that with the high temperatures and high humidity, we're going to have a faster proliferation of insects. So chicks, horn flies, stable flies, they're going to be in a higher number now, and they can be very detrimental to the calves and to the cows as well, to the cattle. So horn flies are very important because they suck blood from the cattle, and they are in a higher numbers in the cows, in the cattle, sometimes hundreds, sometimes thousands. So they can induce a lower anemia, and it can induce pain because they're sting, they're biting. So the animal, instead being grazing, eating or resting, they're going to be moving, trying to remove those horn flies from their bodies. And the flies itself, uh, the stable flies or others, they are potential for induce of Pinkeye. That's an important disease on the cattle. They affect especially young stock. So usually they have to have a damage on the eye, and that's those flies can induce that, and then the bacteria can come and colonize the eye and induce the disease.
So in regards to pink eye, now we have more forage growth because now we're having summer rain.
Yeah,
And then as cattle are grazing in taller pastures, then they're expected to have, you know, some more contact with that blade that might damage that eye, right?
yes, that's right. That's another risk factor, Jonael, well pointed. So summertime, it's the time where the risk factors are increased, so that tall pasture can, sometimes they have the stem of the sword can damage the eye of the cattle, and then the bacteria can come and colonize the eye, and then you have the uh, higher numbers of insects as well. And then with these situations of a higher stock density, so having more cattle in the farm, becomes easier for those vectors to transmit the bacteria. And that's a very hard disease to control and to prevent, and very painful for the cattle as well.
So, Dr. Vita, just for understand this that you are explaining to us, if we have more animals in our acres, that means that it's going to be easiest to contaminate or pass one disease to one animal to other, right?
Yes, that's right. And you can see in the COVID-19 situation, so if one animal is sick, and if there are more animals closer to that one, whatever the pathogen is, it's easier to be transmitted to the other animal. If you have a lower stock density, even though the cows are herd animals, they are together, but then you're going to have more space in between them, so there are less animals for the pathogens to infect.
So thinking on all this hard time that the producer could have right now, what could be an effective way to prevent the dissemination of this disease in our cattle?
Yes, it's a. I know the not only the ranchers, they are hard workers, and they might be struggling with labor or help right now. But it's important to continue and to strengthen the veterinary relationship and the relationship with the other professions as nutritionists, agronomists, with the cow agents, to be with a better surveillance of those diseases, monitor the cattle more often, so make sure they have enough and adequate nutrition and water, and to implement or to uh, maintain good vaccination in health protocols, so vaccinating, looking out for the sick cattle, treating them early as they are identifying their diagnosis. If they need to be isolated, then you go and do it. So it's a burden, it's a challenge time, but it's a time to be trying to managing better the cattle in the farm itself. So if, as I was telling you about the forage, you're going to have more cattle in the farm. So you better have good protocols for grazing, because you may overgraze an area and then the weeds can come. So then there's no very snowball effect.
Mhm. Yeah, I was thinking about that. We talk about one of the recommended practices, which is rotational grazing. What we're doing is that we're managing those that parcel in a more intentional way. Now we're restricting the foraging behavior of animals, and that way we're moving those animals through, our farm. Um, Thinking about the fact that now we have more pressure. Now we have to manage our resources more wisely. This is probably the time to start investing in soil testing, in weed control. Maybe we're not going to have as much money as we would before the pandemic started, and but now it's the time to evaluate those options and manage wisely, and come up with a better, more efficient way of making converting grass into beef, actually.
Yeah, that's an important point. And then I'm a veterinarian, so I'm trying to worry about of the cattle health, but we need to work as a group with the agronomists, with the cow agents, with the nutritionist, to make sure the water conservation scientists, with the whole holistic in the farm, to have the better outcome from the ranchers.
So, in conclusion, as we've been talking about, all of these stressors that can affect us, there's a team of people that are here to provide farmers and ranchers with the best science-based information and educational opportunities. So if you think that you're alone managing your herd, that is not the case. University of Florida IFAS Extension county agents and specialists are here to help you in decision making, in identifying those problems. So come and visit us. We're here to help. We're glad that we have Dr. Vitar with us today, and we're glad that we can rely on his expertise to teach us how to be better stewards of the land, better managers. So anyway, visit an extension office near you. We have an extension office in every county in Florida. So look us up, write us an email if there's any questions, and remember that we're here to provide solutions for you. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Vitar, for being with us today. We really appreciate all that you are doing for us and for our people in Florida.
Thank you all. Thank you, Francisco and Jonael. It's a pleasure. So, and then us from the College of Veterinary Medicine of University of Florida are here to work together with IFAS and all the cattle producers and veterinarians in Florida. Thank you, and we'll see you in the next episode.
Yes, sir.